I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is. Eventually people are going to say, what the hell is going on? It's not enough to say it's nuts. You have to explain why it's so nuts. The invention of artificial life, the cloning of human beings, possible contact with extraterrestrials, the systems which are in place to keep the world sane are utterly inadequate to the forces that have been unleashed.
Welcome back to Forbidden Knowledge News. I'm your host, Chris Matthew. Today my guest is Matt Vaughn. Check out my films, Doors of Perception on Amazon Prime and free on Relay. Occult Louisiana is on Tubi, Roku, Apple, and a few more. We are booking guests for March and April. If you have suggestions or you'd like to be a guest, email me, forbiddenknowledgenews@gmail.com. Today I want to welcome back to the show Matt Vaughn. He has been a paranormal researcher since his elementary school days in the mid-'80s and immersed in mystical and shamanistic spiritual practices for over a quarter of a century. He has an M.A. in psychology. He is an artist, writer, poet, screenwriter, painter, and musician. Matt, welcome back. How you doing?
Doing great, man. So happy to talk with you, Chris. Glorious, glorious days for our community.
I do hope you're correct on that one. We're going to get into some fun discussion today. We are in the era of quote-unquote disclosure. The UFO extraterrestrial subject is ridiculously dense and multi-layered. Not to mention anything from the Epstein files, which I'm sure we'll get into as well, but I'm not sure if we're even supposed to understand aspects of the UFO phenomena. But either way, we are in fascinating times as it relates to information about taboo subjects that is coming out right now. You've been looking into the phenomena for a long time, so I'm really looking forward to getting your thoughts into everything that is unfolding right now. It's a wild time. Before we get into any of this, remind the audience a little about yourself and let them know how they can find out more.
Okay, my name is Matt Vaughn. I have been researching the paranormal since I was in 5th grade. This is in the 80s. A serious student of the UFO phenomena since I was 15. I am an artist, a writer, stand-up comedian, and my day job is a psychotherapist. So if anybody wants a therapist who's crazier than you are, hit me up. You can go to mycosmictrigger.com to find more about me. That is the title of a book that I published with Trine Day in 2024. It's called My Cosmic Trigger, High Strangeness in Theory and Practice. And if you'd like to see my updated writings and podcasts, it is Solace of the Wake Substack. So that's where I do all of my updated writings and my hot takes on current events. You will find them at Solace of the Wake. Just completed a novel. It will be out later in the year, God help us, or God willing, I should say. It's called America's Greatest Ascension Team. And I'm an Aries. Have I covered it all?
You got it, man. Well, I'd really love to share your perspective. We were talking before we started recording, and you are very optimistic about things, which is quite refreshing. I'm very much looking forward to getting into those perspectives because I think we really need some optimism right now. So tell us a little bit about how you feel about the happenings unfolding.
Man, I'm very optimistic, but before I present an optimistic view of this, I feel like I have to point out I am aware of the negative scenarios regarding the Epstein disclosure, regarding
you
UFO
just disappeared,
disclosure.
Matt. I can't see you anymore.
Wait, oh my God. Look at them. Dude, they're after us, Chris.
They are coming. They don't want you to be optimistic today.
I know, that's right.
Oh,
the tech overlords. All right, sorry about that, man. I've been having trouble with my, feel like a boomer. Okay. All right. So I can go down the negative rabbit hole if one would like. So I feel like in this space, there's this sort of bias towards negativity. If you're not negative about any of the current events, you are an idiot. This is a larger sort of phenomena in all various disciplines. So it's not just in this space, but in one of Chris's previous podcast episodes, I have been sending people that I laid out, and I believe, I don't want to put words in Chris's mouth, but it was the most dark AI scenario
it was pretty dark. So, yes.
Yes. So I, throwing that out there, that's my caveat. So please do not send me crazed emails about how I am a dupe and all this. Please. I have a lot of things on my plate. No, man, I'm very optimistic. Let's start here.
Yeah.
I have been researching this since I was a kid, and I was, God, dog. Okay, Chris, I'm just going to, when it messes up,
just keep rolling. It's all good.
I'll just keep rolling. I apologize. Looking like a Johnny come late. I won't even mention it.
Yeah.
Anyway. On a personal level, I've been studying this for a long time, since I was in elementary school, then the UFO phenomena, seriously, since I was in high school. This is the mid-90s. I was getting on the BBSs, the early days of the internet. I was talking about this in class, and I was thinking about this before our interview. Excuse me, I'm out of breath. I ran to do so. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with enthusiasm. The optimism is making me breathless. So anyway, I was ridiculed about this, Chris. Long story short, I was ridiculed ever since I was in high school. Somebody wrote it in my yearbook about, you were brave, Matt, because you would talk about UFOs even though you got ridiculed. First of all, I didn't know I was being ridiculed, but they were ridiculing me behind my back. But it's mainstream now, is what I'm saying. It's mainstream. Yeah. I like that. I don't like being viewed as different and crazy. I like that it's mainstream. A lot of people in this space, it's a bit like the indie band phenomena, where now that it's mainstream, we don't like it. Am I making sense here, Chris?
100%. I feel the same way. Essentially, whenever I first started exploring this and started Forbidden Knowledge News, I almost got disowned by my entire family, and friends were looking at me like I was insane. It was a very difficult time to navigate. So I was kind of forced to do this so I could get rid of all that information that I was absorbing and try and share it with people that were like-minded. So you're right. It is a great thing that people are starting to become aware of some of these things.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we can do a little kumbaya moment and holding space. I'm sorry that happened for you, Chris. I'm a therapist, so I know how difficult that would be. And I've had similar things in my life, just having to live in the closet and being, seen as less than. And I've been on a I told you so 2-week tour, internally. I told y'all so. I mean, we were right. Me and Chris were right. So if there's any family members of mine that are listening, or of Chris's, we were right. Y'all were wrong. We were right. And we're waiting for our apology.
Well, here's the thing. What do you think we were right about? Because I have more questions about the phenomena than I ever did when I first started. I have no idea what these non-human intelligences really are. How much is theatrical deceptions? How much is really genuine phenomena? How much people are hucksters and trying to pass things off just so they could get attention, or intentionally being planted in the community? There's a lot to sift through with this.
Well, let's look at the way I look at this study and this phenomena is on layers. There's layers to it. Let's stay up here at this. You're going down here. Let's stay up here. Yeah. And the I told you so layer.
All right.
Coin that term. All right. So we were right that the government obviously knows about the UFO phenomena in some way. I mean, you have congressmen and women sharing what they were told that is civilizations under the sea. I don't know if you caught that one, man.
Yeah.
But so that the government obviously knows about it, has been covered up. So that's known. That's what we have been saying on a large level. We're not saying, people like me and you know exactly what the phenomena is, but that is now true. We were correct about that. We were not crazy to suggest the government has some involvement in covering this up. There was TV shows about it, as you see from your poster. Those TV shows were literally pointing to a reality that existed. It wasn't just a TV show. That type of thing is happening. We were right about that. With the Epstein files, we were right that a group of very rich people and perhaps elite families that are only spoken about in whispers, please don't say the name, are somehow manipulating the world to the best of their ability. They have large amounts of money, and they are, I don't want to say that word too, with kids. Yeah. And maybe fucking eat them, which is one of the deep theories. Also, the whole Wayfair thing. I looked into that. Damned if that doesn't look real. Yeah. So these dark things that we said were happening, we thought were happening, are happening. It's mainstream. It is happening. To the extent, now we could go down that next layer and even more layer, like what is exactly happening, which is disinformation, which isn't. I think those are good questions to ask, but I think it takes us away from, let's have this victory lap, y'all. When me and Chris have this victory lap, let us have this victory lap. And let yourself have this victory lap, because we have a long journey ahead of us, y'all. And this is just beginning, in my opinion. That's what I'm pointing out, that there's going to be more strangeness disclosed, more strangeness happening. This is just the first inning.
Whenever you say that we should take a victory lap, I agree to a certain extent, but I also have to look at the years of research that we've been involved in and the amount of information that we were presenting years ago that is just starting to trickle out now. I feel like people like yourself and myself already has more information than has come out so far. So we're really stuck on the edge of what is next. What should we be preparing for something? To what extent are we going to be allowed to know what the next level is?
Right. Well, not to be a stickler, but I don't use the word should. I wouldn't say you should. My therapist is coming out, inner therapist. I wouldn't say you should celebrate. I would say your life may be enhanced and you may be your cup more full as we go to the next journey, next stage of this, if you allow yourself the victory lap and the celebration. Now, there's also sadness behind it, because I don't know about you, man, but part of me would have really hoped that it's kind of bad with this Epstein stuff, but it's not that bad. Probably some of that stuff is disinformation. Yeah. They're probably not eating people, but that's what the files sort of seem to suggest. And that's sad. I mean, even if that's not true, the stuff that we know they're doing with trafficking children is horrific and terrible. It would have been better to be wrong. So it's sad in that way. One of the things I say is I'm as far as being let down, because people have asked me, are you going to be let down if more doesn't come out about this? I'm already playing with I told you so money. So house money. I told you so house money. So I'm not going to be let down to a certain extent, because this is so much stuff is coming out that if you would have told me in high school when I first learned about Area 51, before it was mainstream, and learned about disclosure, this idea that the government is going to slow roll this disclosure process, and they're trying to slowly open us up to this reality, I would have said, and you would have said, in 2026, you will be talking about the fact that they've admitted it. Essentially, it's been soft disclosure. This crazy Epstein thing has come out, and this cabal that runs the world. I'd say, no, it's not possible. That's crazy. That's not possible. So I would have never thought this is possible, the level we've gotten to. So I want to hold that space to help people sort of ground in that. This is way more than I ever thought possible. But the idea is people are saying in this space have been chewing on this for a long time. We know there's more. We know that this is more needs to come out, more needs to be done. But to those people, what would that look like? So I would ask you, Chris, what would more look like? Would it be everybody who's mentioned in the files is arrested tomorrow or yesterday?
Ideally,
what would
yes.
it look like? Full arrest. So the most powerful cabal in the world that controls all the monetary supply and most intelligence agencies. And there's only a small fraction, if we're lucky, of people in these organizations who aren't supportive of them. You would like that to happen tomorrow?
I would love for that to happen tomorrow, although I'm not an idiot and I know that it's not going to unfold that way. I would like to see some kind of justice start to trickle in there somehow.
Yes, I agree. Now, look, I thought it was a good sign that Prince was arrested. And then, people in this space were like, well, he was only arrested for disclosing secrets. I'm like, come on, I'm seeing a perp walk of this creep. Like, I never would have thought I would have saw that. Like, but there is this vibe of, unless I see mass arrests today, then this is not good. Unless I see them roll out at the Super Bowl halftime show a fucking UFO craft and display it for us at the halftime show, then it's all this is all a psyop and it's a distraction. I'm glad I'm not in charge of dismantling this thing or rolling out this disclosure, because it looks really hard to do, and it looks like it's a lot easier to nitpick it from the sidelines. I point that out.
Do you think the majority of folks are truly ready for the information to come?
No, dude. No. And I think that's the bugaboo. And I don't know, did you see this somewhere? I don't know. You know how it is. We follow so much stuff, if you forget where it came from and whatever. But this idea that one of the things with disclosure is the interdimensional aspect of UFO phenomena, and there's people who are like, it's demons. And so there's this faction that is like, don't disclose this because it's interdimensional, and then people will be freaked out about demons. So lost my train of thought. I blame the archons. Anytime I lose my train of thought on a podcast like this, I can just blame
We're talking about if the masses are ready, basically.
No, the masses are ready. I'm so sorry. The masses are not ready. So how could you be ready for, by the way, it's not just little green men from Mars. Oh, it's interdimensional, and they're the angels and demons from ancient times, and they're the gods from ancient times, and some are trying to enslave you and eat your soul, and some are not about that. And also there's time travel. Oh, and also there's civilizations under the earth. Oh, and also there's Bigfoot, and there's psychic, and also there's human hybrids under the earth that they've created to torture children. Like, how are you going to be ready for that? So I believe the high strangeness phenomena, that's what I laid out in my book, that it is a educational phenomena. It's trying to open people up. So the more people have interesting synchronicities and interesting paranormal experiences, continue to chew on the material, they'll become more and more open. And I really want to challenge this community. Please don't fucking get crazy on me and send me emails. For us to try to increase our level of sanity, because people are going to be coming to us. And right now, I just see this wildness, like in the community, like just almost like, dude, how are you going to educate anybody if you're freaking out? So I got actually very depressed. Part of me got very depressed, man, with the community's reaction to all this. I was like, we're fucked. These people are crazy. They're never going to be able to help educate or anything. just screaming and gnashing their teeth. Like, so no one's ready, and including myself. I mean, are you ready? I don't know if I'm ready.
Well, I think I am, based on the information that's already out there. If that's a foundation that we can work with, I think I'm ready. I think a lot of people in this community are ready for that. But it just depends on how deep the rabbit hole goes. Like you were saying, there may be some theological implications to this. May not be worried about the entities or phenomena itself, because it was probably here the whole time. It's probably been with us our entire existence. So that might not be the immediate threat, but the reaction from people may be more of a threat than the phenomena itself.
Well, yeah, that's true. But, you know, in a sense, when I say I don't think people are ready, I don't foresee people freaking out. I foresee people just not processing it. So we
see that already.
Yeah, already. I mean, it's really been interesting to see, you know, who this information trickles down to, like what level of normie it trickles down to. Like my boomer parents have not got any of it. Then one level has told me everything is Russia, you know, like Russia has done everything.
Yeah.
And then another level, you know, we won't mention other nation states by name. So it's just, I don't know. I mean, so that's the other thing with the disclosure. Like, people are like, well, we need to present information to wake people up. No one's going to be woken up. People like, oh, UFOs distract from Epstein. I mean, Super Bowl did that. Like, there's no, everybody's distracted. Like, what?
Yeah.
What is being distracted? Everybody's distracted. There's nothing that, I don't think there's anything that could wake up a certain level of normies. So why are we basing success on that?
From a psychological standpoint, how do you feel about the reaction so far, not only to UFO disclosure, but the incredible revelations of everything that has come out since 2020? I think there has been a desensitization effect. I don't think people are reacting accordingly based on the information that's actually come out. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think that's true. And I think we were talking about this before, and my wife was pointing this out. You know, people have been duped. People have been tricked. I won't say what they were tricked by, but they're feeling that like they've just had sort of like trickery fatigue or something, and they don't want to be fooled on this one. And it probably seems like, all right, first you had a global pandemic, and now you're telling me there's a cabal of, you know, freaks that do stuff with kids, and now you're telling me there's UFOs. Like, I'm done.
Let's take a look at everything that we have learned from the phenomena that we can state is most likely the reality of this. There are countless numbers of people that I have interviewed that claim to have not only interactions with non-human intelligence, but very physical reactions. They are taken places. They are taken on craft. They have very profound experiences. Again, very physical, which points to the possibility that there are physical beings and intelligences involved with this. This is another divisive aspect of the phenomena. There's many in the camp that think it's all demons and angels and interdimensional non-physical beings, and there's another camp that believes it's all physical beings coming from different planets. I'm more of the belief that there is a wide spectrum of phenomena occurring here, and we can't put it all into one basket. I think there's much more to our reality than we could ever imagine, many layers, and it may be all of the above.
I'm an all of the above guy, and maybe that's a cop out, but I do believe that. You know, but I go through stages of where I'll be more like, all right, thinking one way, okay, it's physical beings. And then, okay, well, no, it's actually just this larger phenomenon. It's perhaps ourselves from the future waking us up. I go through different stages, but I think all of the above, because isn't that kind of how life works? It's kind of like, a little bit of everything. Probably some physical, some interdimensional, some angels, some demons, some energy from the future, our future selves, AI from the future, gnomes, elves, fairies. It's probably all the above. I really believe that. Today, just for today, that is what I believe.
Yeah. The military industrial complex is painting this phenomena as mostly a threat that we should be concerned about. I'm of the belief that if it was that type of threat, we would have been in trouble a long time ago. I am more of the belief that what is unfolding is a part of our reality that certain groups have taken advantage of and weaponized. And again, if we're looking at what is really threatening about all of this, I would say it's the human aspect and what we are trying to glean from it and what our military is trying to create from the phenomena itself.
Well, okay, let's get into that. Let's talk about what this technology means, and maybe we'll get to answer that question. I can answer your question starting there. So this means it, and I think this is the next thing in our, we're in the first inning of strangeness. The next inning is the idea of, okay, so if there are these UFOs that are real, aliens exist, what have you, that means they have advanced technology way above ours. If there are craft, it means they didn't get here with gasoline. They had some sort of free energy technology. Whoa, what does that mean? That means the way we structure society can change radically and rapidly. So there's that aspect. And also, any new technology is going to be used for weapons of war. People forget that. People, when I talk to people about AI, they say, well, AI is evil because the military is using it. That's one interesting thing about the history of warfare, is that technology advances during war. If you want to look at the U.S. Civil War, there's research that shows like the amount of patents that were submitted during the U.S. Civil War was like, orders of magnitude higher than the previous years, because when you have the motivation to kill or be killed, you really you think outside the box and come up with new ideas. So I'm sure they're trying to use this for weapons of war, but also this gets into the whole breakaway civilization thing, and that's probably inning 3 in this. All right, if there's probably a group that has this technology and that is operating outside of nation states.
That's something that I go back and forth on a lot, because I would hope that there are clandestine groups and factions that have humanity's best interest in mind, that aren't trying to enslave us and eat our children.
Yes.
There
Good point.
have been indicators of this. I think the whole QAnon operation was just that. It was a psychological operation, but there has to be truth in it in order for it to be effective. So I do think they put out some true information. But as far as white hats within our government, it's difficult for me to get a grasp on that, just because of the level of corruption that seems to be all encompassing at that level of power. But I would like to have hope that somewhere within those ranks, there are benevolent human beings.
Well, look, here's what I like to point out. Good points. So here's what I say to people. Look, all right, and now that it's true, I used to say, if things are so bad, there's a cabal of ultra elite people that are, maybe eating people. So, okay, we don't know if they're eating people. Most, but they're at least SAing children at the very least.
Okay? Yeah.
All right. So that level of evil. So I'm not saying that the idea is not that there's people in the military who are trying to stop this. It's not saying they're enlightened beings. You just have to be not wanting to do mass trafficking of children and SA them in a ritualistic manner at scale. If you're just not for that, you're better than them. So there's this black and white thinking in this space, in this community, that it just drives me up the wall. It's like, well, if they're in the government, they're evil. And it's like, well, I just want them to stop eating us, man. And if they're down with them stopping eating us, that's a good thing. I'm not saying if there are people in the government that aren't down with this, I'm not saying there's enlightened saints. I'm saying they're probably not as evil that they want this crazy stuff to keep happening.
Where are you at with the level of technology that we are reliant on now? I'm of the perspective that some of it needs to be reeled back, that there are aspects of science and technology that we're okay with right now, that humans are already thriving to a great degree with the level of technology we have. And that's not to say that I'm anti-technology, and I don't think that there's amazing things to come in the future, which I know that there is. But there is a large amount of technology that is not beneficial for the majority of humanity. It's beneficial for technology. It's beneficial for the ruling class. But I know that we have more of a hand in guiding the direction of technology than we believe. We are more active participants in all of this. And I think a big part of the next step is becoming aware of the power that we hold just by making certain decisions to participate in certain agendas or not to help guide the direction that this currently somewhat anti-human technology is headed. I think that we have more control over everything that's unfolding than we would believe, and that is the trick that's being held against us to prevent us from reaching that next step. It's just becoming aware that we have more power over this.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to agree to disagree with you. And the early mishap I had with technology, that shows you, Chris, I'm not thriving with technology. When we started, I needed a little higher advanced technology that would not have that my boomer side could have figured out. No, I would very much disagree with that. I know we talked about it before, but I encourage, that's one thing. So in these interviews in this space, I've been presenting the optimistic side. I feel like I'm the only optimistic voice these days. And so optimistic about the UFO disclosure stuff and about the Epstein stuff, very optimistic, but I'm also very optimistic about the AI stuff. I think that the little people like us, the more we don't embrace the technology, I think that only serves the ruling class. And I've said this before, I think this is like Prometheus. We're stealing fire from the gods here. And I really push back on that. And the thing is, technology has good effects on humans and bad effects. Famously, Socrates was against the invention of the alphabet. He thought the alphabet would destroy human memory because back then people had very large memories because they had to pass everything orally. And with writing, he said, now you're just outsourcing your memory to paper. You won't remember it. So he was a boomer about fucking the alphabet. So no one sits here and thinks, well, we shouldn't have invented the alphabet. I don't think anybody would be on board with that. Yeah. So I'm very much accelerate this technology. I think it is our only hope that we have access to these tools and the ruling people don't. I mean, they also have access, but here's the thing. It's funny. Somebody who's kind of turned on like us into this weird stuff, he was using one of these AI tools, and then he was like, they're going to shut it down. It's too powerful. They're going to shut this down. I think the genie's out of the bottle. I don't think that can be shut down. But no, I would not say stop here. All technologies have positive and negative effects. Marshall McLuhan said, every technological innovation creates a mutation in the organism, opening up new spheres of consciousness. I think this is taking us to the next epoch of human evolution. And I think the fear-mongering around it, I don't think that's, I would say be careful about that fear-mongering stuff. I think that only serves people that this community is ostensibly claimed they're against.
I agree that technology can go in great directions, and I in no way think we should stop. I think we should rein in the direction that it is headed and assure that it's not going to eventually destroy humanity.
Who's going to rein it in, though, Chris?
Well,
who's going to rein it in? You want the government or corporations to rein it in.
I don't want. What I'm saying is we need to do that. We need to choose what we're participating with. We need to put our money where our mouth is. We need to show the ruling class what we do and don't want as humanity. And that's what I was getting to. Right now, around every street corner, they have red light cameras and radars and different types of technology that can read a bumper sticker or a dent on your car and tell you who you are. And this is all for surveillance and law enforcement purposes. I am extremely against that use of technology. And unfortunately, I see a lot of it is headed in that direction. So I think we need to voice that we do not want that. If we're going to want advanced, wonderful technology, it has to benefit us, not enslave us.
I like that. Voicing your opinion on that, making that distinction. Right now, it just seems a lot of just like weeping and gnashing of teeth about we have to stop this technology. We have to,
Well, there is no stopping it. That's what people don't realize. You can't stop it. You can just show those that are developing it that you're not down with this or you are down with that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, hope springs eternal. Seems like a worthy thing to try. I look at it a little differently. I'm trying to actualize my artistic and psycho-spiritual consciousness with this technology as fast as I can, as fast as my little legs will take me. And so stopping to be like shaking my angry fist at the sky at Palantir, I don't know how helpful that is. I am, I get this image like we're in a race and I'm racing ahead. I'm expanding my consciousness as fast as it will take me. Now, let's go back to disclosure. So it's like, well, the question is the public ready? And as I like to say in this book, I encourage people in this community to ask a different question. Ask if you're ready. Are you ready that there's an alien family next door? Okay, are you ready for that? They would take you on their little craft up to the moon or something? You're ready for that. Are you ready when psychic Bigfoot camps out in your backyard and for the weekend and tells you lore of their people for around a campfire? Are you ready for that? Are you ready that the computers become alive and they're beneficial and they want to help you live a better life? Are you ready for that? I'm trying to prepare myself to be ready for this new reality. If people want to, advocate to politicians to stop stoplight cameras, I mean, just go for it.
You've been in the realm of research within this phenomena for a long time, as you said. Would you say there's enough evidence that points to there are non-human intelligences that walk among us that appear as humans?
Dude, probably, dude. It's funny you asked that. I just heard this wild story that of from a very, respected person who's in the closet with this stuff. And it's funny you brought that up because I was going to use this podcast as like I was going to say, listen to this podcast. I'm speaking to you. I want to encourage people like this, people who are in the closet, to come out of the closet, to come and join the discussion. Let's talk about it, because God help us, the current roster in the community is losing their minds and freaking out. So maybe some new blood might help us. So I like that, more people coming in. I liked it when my band became super famous, Animal Collective. I loved it. They got super big. So, dude, are there probably, man? I mean, this story I heard, this person came out of nowhere and saved his life, and he just came in, gave him some information that saved his life, and then never saw him again. So you hear some of these stories sometimes. It's like, is that an angel? Is that just synchronicity? Dude, there's probably aliens, dude. I mean, at this point, I'm willing to consider everything except for flat Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Oh, we're not going to get into that. Don't worry. What trips me out is the possibility of physical beings when we talk about Bigfoot and cryptids. So many researchers are connecting these beings with extraterrestrials and UFOs. I'm not so sure. I wonder if it's a flesh and blood physical being that has been acclimated and adapted to this planet for so long. They have abilities that we can't fathom. They have psychic abilities, cloaking abilities, but they're not necessarily aliens or extraterrestrials. They just are more in tune. And that's something I consider.
Yeah, I consider that as well. And if you're a nocturnal creature, if you can live in the forest and you can see at night, and that's the thing with Bigfoot, is a nocturnal ape, you can be pretty much undetected. It's really hard to walk around at night in the woods. I don't know if anybody's ever tried it, but if you're able to do that without, like it's day, you're going to be able to do pretty good not being detected. But the other thing is, they're not that good at not being detected because so many people have seen them, especially if you look online, you ask around, so many people have seen them. A guy down the road here saw a Bigfoot sticker on his car, and I was asked him, because every time I see somebody with a Bigfoot sticker on their car, I ask about it. And he had seen one in the 1970s, and he was convinced from then on that they are real. Oh, man, but you got to have this guy, Dr. Matthew Johnson, on. He talks about the psychic Bigfoot phenomena, and he calls them the Janu, which he claims that's what they call themselves. His thing is, he says they come from another planet, that their planet has been like destroyed, and they're slowly like portaling here, their population, because the sun on that planet has died or something. Fascinating stories. Dr. Matthew Johnson.
Yeah, I'm going to have to remember that. There's also a aspect of trickery and mimicry when it comes to a wide spectrum of paranormal phenomena. I think that some of the things that may appear as Bigfoot or cryptids could be a different kind of energy or intelligence that is mimicking something else and may appear more metaphysical or non-physical at the time of the experience.
Yeah, I've been thinking that too. As in my research, I've led me to consider that. Full disclosure, my favorite cryptid is Bigfoot, so that will be the only one. If Bigfoot is not just a hairy ape, that's like psychic and living in the earth, I will be disappointed about that. That I will say that up front. I have a bias. I think it's so cool, a hairy ape living in the woods, but that would not be objective. And I have considered that this is like the shape that I don't know if you're familiar with much jinn lore.
A little bit.
Jinn are like a cross between Bigfoot and ghosts, and they're in Islamic tradition. So in Turkey, my wife is Turkish. If you ask people if they've had any weird stories, weird things happen to them, they will have jinn stories. And they're more ethereal or more shapeshifters. So it's led me, my interaction with people in Turkey around the jinn has led me to think that maybe the Bigfoot are just like the American jinn. It's like it's a form that our consciousness can kind of handle and wrap her head around. It's very American if you think about it. A big hairy ape in the woods. It's like very American cryptid. And maybe that's what our brains can kind of process. And to me, it goes back to perhaps this is the overall phenomena itself. It is nothing physical. It's all just a way to sort of open up our consciousness, expand our consciousness. Yeah, but it might, you're right. It might be.
Well, I'm not trying to get you to tell your gnome story here, but you've had experiences with what seem to be little people. I just want to ask you, did they seem physical at the time?
They seem physical, but I did recently have an interaction with gnomes that was more ethereal.
Really?
Yeah, man. But yeah. No, the gnomes I saw, they looked physical. And the woman who owned the property, she reported that she saw little people with old beards, looked old with beards swimming in a creek. So
have you heard about the magic mushroom that they've recently, I don't know if they've recently discovered, but they've recently become aware of the effects that it has consistently every time a person ingests it? They don't have the normal psychedelic hallucinations. They all see little tiny elf-like people that are crawling around, hanging from furniture, trying to crawl on people. They don't seem malevolent. They're just kind of doing their thing for the amount of time that the effects last. I think it lasts like 4 or 5 hours, but I found it fascinating. They're doing studies on this now that every time people take it, they're going to see the little people. Again, this could also be a hidden layer of reality in a different dimension, different density. Maybe they're physical there, but we're seeing an etheric version.
Yeah, check this out. I know somebody who, I think I talked about it in my book, this story. He claims he was feeding his child in the morning. He was in a half sleep, half state, groggy. And he dropped the bottle, reached down to pick it up, and he picked up one of these little creatures. And he said it was like struggling. I think he called it a goblin or a gremlin. I don't know what he called it. But then he said he let it go and it went away. So it was like half ethereal, half physical. So there you go. But damn, that's all we need. So, okay, once again, here's disclosure. So they're going to put that out in the files. Oh, guess what? You don't see them, but there's these little creatures around your house at all times. If you take this substance, you'll see these little guys.
Do you think we're entering a time where awareness of the supernatural and the metaphysical is going to become a normalized thing, that more people are going to be open to these experiences, therefore they'll be able to perceive it more?
I think so, man. I think the veil is thinning. I mean, I think that's why I say I think we're in inning number 1, with all of this, and it's going to get weirder and weirder. And yeah, man, it's exciting times, dude. I mean, your forbidden knowledge news, you're just knowledge news now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just news. I made a joke with this one guy. I don't know if you know the Typical Skeptic podcast.
Yeah, I've had him on a few times.
I love that guy, by the way. Shout out to Rob. But I joked that I think things are going to get so strange. He's going to be like a host of The View. And, maybe you'll be like on, CBS Anchor, and you'll be like, let's check in with Chris about the little gnome creatures that you see when you take this drug. And he is talking to someone.
Yeah.
It might get like that it's that mainstream, all this stuff.
Well, that's another thing that's a little difficult to discern because of the access of technology, the access to other people around the world that we currently have with technology. Is it that we're hearing more about people's experiences because we have the ability to communicate easier, or are more people having these experiences? And it could also be that more people feel comfortable now about talking about the experiences because of all this information coming out. You being a paranormal researcher, do you notice more people having the experiences or just a better ability to hear about it?
I would say all of the above once again. And, as one reason I decided to come out of the closet and write the book, because I didn't want to come out of the closet about all this stuff, quite honestly. But no one was buying the scripts, man. So I had to find something that people would read. Oh man, Archon's got me again. I lost the train of thought.
We're talking about if more people are actually having the experience or if we're just accessing it. Yeah.
I swear it happens when I'm on these shows. I swear. So, dude, as a therapist, having these clients that aren't into any of this stuff, so many people have had weird experiences that I have found who just share it kind of like, well, by the by, this is what happened to me. It doesn't change their entire structure of their life, but they've had this one weird thing or two weird things. So this is way more common than we think. And it's part of the Overton window. The Overton window, I mean, my God, they're talking about, elite pedophile cannibals. I mean, on the mainstream news or whatever, underground sea bases of ancient civilizations in Congress. So people feel more comfortable to share this stuff. But yeah, also it does seem that it's happening more. It's just that's just sort of my subjective experience of it. I don't have any statistics to prove that, but it does feel like there's something in the air and more weirdness is sort of happening.
I'd like to get your psychological insights into what is most likely a better way of processing all of this information coming out right now. Many people look at it and they're waiting for it to fix itself. They're waiting for arrests. They're waiting for some major event that's going to happen that will make everything better. But in my perspective, nothing's going to get better for anybody until they take care of their own inner shit, until they start working on the muck inside themselves, because as long as that depression, those dark thoughts, nastiness from past trauma is still lingering in there, you're not going to feel any different about anything, honestly.
Totally agree. 100% agree with what you said. Ditto what you said. And I want to hold that space and highlight that and say more about it because, dude, that is the answer. Because here's the thing. If you feel shitty and they arrest every one of these freaks, I promise you're going to find something else to feel shitty about. Then you'll be like, well, guess what? It didn't happen soon enough. This is how it works. And you see this on a micro level in people's lives. I tell people as a therapist, I get anxious when something really good happens in their life and then when something really bad happens, because it's sort of the same reaction. So here's what I'm doing. And people, if they want to do this, they can. I am taking this. This is why it's good news to me. The Epstein, the UFO disclosure, it makes me feel better. So I am taking this information and how is it improving my life? For one, I'm pretty damn sure about a lot of things now because I was right about that. I've been right about this, that, and the other. So I have more confidence in my beliefs. I have more confidence and I'm right about the whole AI thing. Because I'm on a right roll here. This is how it's helping me. I feel more confident. I feel in that way happier. So take the information and then have it improve your life. Because, man, I mean, if a UFO, they pull out a UFO in the White House, how's that going to improve your life? How are you going to feel better? They arrest all of them. How are you going to feel better? It will be pretty awesome if we got to see that, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I tell you, there's many parts of me that will feel amazing if that happens, no matter how much trauma I've healed. But to close out, any final thoughts, anything we didn't cover that you'd like to go over?
No, man. I don't know. Just, I'm happy. I'm just, once again, remind everybody, we were right, everybody out there. Enjoy yourselves. Take yourself out to a nice dinner. send a passive aggressive text to that rude friend or family member. Take your victory lap. You were right. You as a person, you listening to this show, you were not crazy. You were right. They were wrong. That's it, man. Thank you
I love
for
it,
having
man.
me. I love talking to you, man.
This was a great discussion. Before you go, remind everybody how they can get a hold of your book and all your content.
Okay, it's on Amazon. It's My Cosmic Trigger, High Strangeness in Theory and Practice. Please leave the 5-star review, regardless of what you think about it. And then just mycosmictrigger.com. You can see all my past interviews on shows and my podcast and Solace of the Wake. That's where I put all of my stuff in real time. So if you like what I'm putting down, if you like my appearance here, go to Solace of the Wake Substack. That's where you get the real shit.
Right on. Matt, thank you so much. We will definitely do it again. Until next time, have an excellent evening. We'll talk again tomorrow. Hello, friends. I am so excited to tell you about Independent Media Token. Independent Media Token is a brand new way to show your support for independent media without having to donate a dime. Independent Media Token is a cryptocurrency on the Solana blockchain designed to generate funds to promote and foster the growth of independent content creators, allowing them to engage in their art without having to worry about being demonetized. Through a network of media partners, of which you yourself can become a part of, Independent Media Token's goal is to ensure the powers that be can never cut off all of our areas of funding and censor the only free voices left in the world. Join the movement today. You can pick up Independent Media Token using Phantom Wallet or the Solana wallet of your choice, where you can easily swap your Solana for IMT. Grab some IMT today and remember to always know your team. To learn more, visit independentmediatoken.com or use the link right in the description. If you're looking to start your therapeutic microdosing journey, but don't know where to start, especially when looking for the highest quality ingredients, including nootropics, and what you'd expect from a true microdose capsule, check out our friends at Brainsupreme. They offer the absolute highest quality ingredients so you can start your microdosing journey knowing that you're getting top-notch ingredients. To find out more, visit their website using that link right in the description, and you can get 15% off your entire order. Are you and your family prepared for an emergency? Maybe the fake alien invasion? Now is the time to prepare yourself and your family for any event. Check out Prep Starts Now. Their mission is to provide high-quality preparedness products that empower individuals and families to be ready for any situation. They're committed to delivering reliable, trusted gear to ensure your safety, security, and peace of mind in times of need. Their product selection is carefully curated to provide you with the essential gear you need to stay prepared. From emergency kits to tactical tools, every item is chosen for its reliability and practicality. Prep Starts Now understands the importance of family, and their goal is to equip you with everything you need to build a solid plan for your family's preparedness. In today's ever-changing world, being prepared is more important than ever, and Prep Starts Now is here to help you and your family stay ready with quality products and practical guidance. Use the link in the description and get 15% off your order. Watch Doors of Perception now on Amazon Prime. We live in an incredible age of information. More and more, we're discovering that we've been lied to and misled about much of our human history. Cory Hughes is providing profound revelations about World War I, World War II, the JFK assassination, Martin Luther King's assassination, and much, much more on his new Substack, Bloody History. Subscribe now for as little as $5 monthly. Just click that link right in the description to get started now and learn about our true history. I am so excited to tell you about Independent Media Token. Independent Media Token is a brand new way to show your support for independent media without having to donate a dime. Independent Media Token is a cryptocurrency on the Solana blockchain designed to generate funds to promote and foster the growth of independent content creators, allowing them to engage in their art without having to worry about being demonetized. Through a network of media partners, of which you yourself can become a part of, Independent Media Token's goal is to ensure the powers that be can never cut off all of our areas of funding and censor the only free voices left in the world. Join the movement today. You can pick up Independent Media Token using Phantom Wallet or the Solana wallet of your choice, where you can easily swap your Solana for IMT. Grab some IMT today and remember to always know your team. To learn more, visit independentmediatoken.com or use the link right in the description.